Okay. Disappointing announcement time. I know I have made sure to give everyone a heads up about the cast party this month, but due to some scheduling difficulties and some difficulty finding free time to prepare and handle other work, I'm going to have to cancel this month's cast party. I know, I'm sorry. I'm really disappointed too. But don't worry, we will have another one next month. I'm going to make that one on February 27th. It's going to be a big one, too. You should definitely be there if you can. Some stuff is going to be happening on the show, and you're going to want to hear our cast talk about it. Trust me. Now, speaking of hard work that's keeping me from doing fun shows for you guys, I've got some exciting news. Damien over at the Violent Life podcast and I have been working very hard over the past couple of weeks to get his Discord server transitioned over to being a Discord for all the different Shadowrun shows out there. We're calling it the Shadowcasters Network Discord, and it is coming to life. It's amazing. We've already got over 100 people in there chatting about Shadowrun and getting to talk with their favorite Shadowrun podcasters, YouTubers, and streamers. It's awesome, and it's only the beginning. If you want to join in, then head on over to complexaction.net, and right there on the main page is going to be a link to a permanent Discord invite to where you can come and talk to us. And if you don't know about what Discord is, you can look it up online and read about it, but very briefly, it's kind of like a chat program that enables text chat, typing, chat rooms, different channels, and also voice chat services are incorporated as well. I kind of like to describe it as being, imagine if you took an old school IRC chat room, if you know what that is, and then added some Skype features to it. But anyway, check it out. It's been a lot of fun over there. And now, on with the show. You're listening to the Complex Action Actual Play podcast. Plans have changed. The Knights of the Confederacy have spotted the team trying to make their way through the compound. What's that old saying? You go in quiet, you go out loud. Well, they're going to get at least half of that equation right. Now please enjoy episode 24. Elric learns about drugs. So you guys are in the middle of a sort of compound of sorts for belonging to the Knights of Confederacy, which are kind of like a militant terrorist arm of the Humanist Poly Club. At least that's what's alleged. There's a couple of buildings there, two of which are a barracks, one of which is a what do you want to call it? A kennel where they keep the hellhounds as well as the orcs that you're there to save. Outside that kennel, my southern just snuck in there. Outside that kennel is Pillar as well as Vesper, who has followed her, and they have not opened the door yet, but they've just made it to the door of that kennel. There's a mechanical lock on that door. Between a cabin that I think you guys found out the Houndmaster is in that cabin. Between that cabin and the kennels is two pickup trucks on the back of which are mounted heavy machine guns, or one of them has one because one of them was removed by Leroy, who walked out in the middle of this compound and started shooting at some people and then dropped it.
I think Throwback has marks on them too, doesn't he?
I've got
yes.
I've got marks on the two guns, and I've got two marks on the controller.
Yes, you've got two marks on the cyber deck of the person who has those to which those guns are slaved. The cabin now has a dome of fire, almost but not quite completely surrounding the building, and is very soon lighting it on fire. Of course, put there by Elric.
Uh-huh.
You guys have killed a couple of the people that were there. Presumably inside those buildings are plenty more, including one of them has a Decker, and there's a kitchen that was empty. So that's where everybody is. Elric is outside that cabin. I believe that Payday has a drone there. Has Payday arrived in person?
No, Payday is not there in person. And where I had left off in the last round there, I had put Silverback on a standby to acquire more targets, and I had instructed Party Girl to tail after the quickly retreating pillar.
Now
that's the
reminding
roto.
myself mostly Silverback is the Steel Lynx and Party Girl is the Rotodrone, right?
The Roto, yes.
Yes, also have a Spirit of Fire that is summoned. It is manifested inside one of the trailers because that is where we had spotted that a guy had pretty low essence.
Yes, that's
It is
right.
on orders to kill that person. Kill them until they are dead.
That is right. Okay, so we're caught up. Everybody has rolled initiative.
It won't
Elric.
let me write in the document yet.
What have you got,
Oh,
Payday?
23 for Payday. Eon doesn't really matter at this point.
Shit, okay. Fine.
I'm giving you access right now. Hold on.
Vesper was with Pillar and Payday's drone, right?
Oh yeah, we should probably put Vesper in here, huh?
Vesper has... Hold on.
Is there a way to have this table reorder itself?
No. Vesper has 12.
Just wait on Leroy then.
18.
Is it 18 or 19?
1-8.
Alright, now it's full except for your guys.
Alright, so... I guess that means Elric is up first.
Oh gosh, okay, do we have any combatants out that we can see?
Actually, currently no. There are 2 of the guards that were outside are now dead.
Yeah, I guess I throw back my head and let out this sort of howl-like scream as the nitro hits my system. And I'm going to go ahead and trigger my combat sense preparation. And then I'm going to recklessly cast a physical barrier spell of Force 2. But I'm going to use, we'll say 4 reagents. I get 3 hits. And no drain. And I'm going to manifest it as a basically like a wall. Just a 2 meter by 2 meter wall, I think. No, it's 2 meter by 4 meter wall. And I'll just kind of have it up in what looks like a good place to kind of wall me off from the rest of the trailers. It appears as a shimmering wall, so you can see visibly where it is.
All right, that shimmery wall appears kind of, you're in the corner of the cabin, sitting, just barely on that gap between the pickup truck that's parked right next to it and that cabin, and on the side that's facing the big open area, and so it's kind of blocking that area between the pickup truck and the cabin that is open to those 2 cabins. Like if you look through it, it's straight open to those 2 cabins or those 2 barracks.
Yep, and kind of inside of Elric's head, he's just going, oh, whoa, as he's firing out this magic and just feeling this rush of drugs going through his system. And he's just wondering, where is that screaming sound coming from? He's not realizing that he's just continuing to scream, just like this rage-like scream at the top of his lungs. Barely taking
Nice.
pause for breath.
And you said that was a physical barrier?
Yes.
And what was the rating again? I'm sorry.
It's armor and structure of 3. It's force 2, so it won't do much, but it's,
Sure.
it's a little something.
Payday's up next.
All right. Have any targets made themselves visible?
Not yet.
Then Silverback will continue on standby to acquire more targets, and Party Girl will continue to trail after Pillar.
Is there any particular place that Silverback is going to position itself? Or
I believe he was with Elric.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So if he's next to Elric, Silverback is basically next to that pickup truck and behind that barrier. I just want to make sure we're on the same page is all.
I would say so. it really didn't have much need to move during this after it came around the corner and blasted those guys.
Yeah, and that gives it a view of the 2 barracks anyway. So you're holding?
Yes, I am.
All right. The spirit's gonna go, and it's doing some stuff. It's executing orders.
Yeah, so I think the spirit will, last turn, will have manifested inside of the trailer with this guy that it's been ordered to kill. I think what it'll probably do is give him a hug. It would go ahead with the engulf.
So had it already manifested? Remind me.
Yes, it did that last combat turn.
So go ahead and roll the engulf then.
All right, it's basically a melee attack. He gets to make a melee defense roll against it, and I've got 6 hits. And it's really nasty if you don't dodge.
All right, and what's the base damage, and what do net hits do?
Net hit stage of the damage, base damage is 12, physical AP minus 6 if fire, but also because it has the elemental aura, it also deals another 12 physical AP minus 6 fire. That's not staged up.
Okay. All right. Elric receives a sort of psychic message that says that his target was eliminated.
As I'm just yelling and my screaming just sort of pauses and just goes into yes! Rah! And I just keep screaming.
Oh my god.
I created a monster.
He's terrifying.
He must be stopped.
In his mind, Elric is thinking, I have got to draw all the attention to me right now so Pillar can get them out. And holy frag, this is what it's like to be on drugs?
Drugs are great, right?
So many
This is
feelings
insane.
right now.
This is insane. I'm going to die.
Throwback is next.
Okay, does Elric have his Trodes on right now?
Yes.
Okay. Free action, I'm going to take the little volume slider on Elric and dial that down to about 20% to cut that screaming down to a tolerable level. And then I'm going to sort of focus in on this persona that I've got a couple of marks on. Is there anything noteworthy about the visual of it? Any indicators of who they might be based on what their persona looks like?
I trust you guys to roleplay. What happens? Is the persona attached to the cyber deck if it's on and its user is no longer?
If they're not link lock, which they're not, falling unconscious or worse would deactivate them from the matrix, I believe.
All right. Well, the persona is not there anymore then.
Okay.
Well then.
Gosh, that. Yeah, I think throwback. Nobody sees it other than maybe Payday or Eon, but yeah, like physically deflates a little bit, and then like in a split second, sort of shakes it out of his head. And I'm gonna run a trace icon on that device if the cyber deck itself is still turned on.
Yes, the cyber deck icon is still visible.
All right, I'm gonna run a trace icon.
He wasn't the street samurai, he was the decker that I ordered the spirit to kill.
Yeah, we're pretty wired up too. It's possible. So my roller's taking up a long time. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure can.
Okay. Well, that's failing. I'm rolling real dice. 2 seconds. All right, that's 4 hits.
All right, you have that the cyber deck is located in the northernmost of the 2 barracks. It's the one that somebody had come out of and around which a lot of the focus of the fire is right now.
Okay. You said the northernmost barracks?
Yep, the one directly across from the cabin.
Sounds good. That's my action.
Okay, Leroy, what's your edge?
Dose.
All right, then you're not next.
That's fine. I'll just give me something to do.
Does anybody have let's see. Give me does anybody have a specialization or in auditory perception or cyber ears or something?
No,
I
my
have
perception
a
jacked
nose.
up because of drugs, though.
I'll take that then from you. I only want to give a free roll to anybody who might have a special chance to notice this.
Yeah, the nitro gives me +2 to perception checks, so I'm perhaps hyper aware, and I get 4 hits. I don't think this involves hallucinations. I'm kind of picturing it a little bit like, say, Psychojet in Fallout.
All right. Anybody who wants to roll a perception can, but if you, yeah.
Well, I got 4 hits.
All right. Well, if anybody, yes. So you notice in your rage, even with the distraction of screaming, you notice the sound of breaking glass from somewhere in the direction of those 2 buildings.
Which 2 buildings?
The barracks buildings that lots of stuff is going on in.
So not the building that I have the dome of fire surrounding.
No.
Okay.
Is it just a dome of fire, or are you actually trying to light that building completely in flame?
It is a dome of fire that is, I think, partially intersecting the building itself, so it is likely to be setting it on fire as well.
Yes, you can imagine there's a dome that is trying to encase a cube of the building, but doesn't quite succeed. So, like, the corners and everything are outside of the dome.
Yeah, and it's like a Force 10 spell.
So it's burning hot. You guys are actually pretty close to it too, so you're probably feeling a little uncomfortable. Leroy, now you're up.
So last I remember, I threw a Molotov cocktail at the front of this one building, and I dropped my large machine gun on the ground. Did Throwback make it clear that where the Decker was?
I didn't have the action economy to do it, but I will be.
And we made the statement last time that there were 2 doors on these buildings.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's front and back doors.
All right, I'm gonna pick up said machine gun and head around to the other building to say hello to some people as they try to exit.
All right. You can definitely pick up the machine gun.
And that's it. Like, if I see somebody coming out, I will show them the error of their ways with their own guns. But
so you're headed to the back of the cabin that you initially threw a flaming bottle in front of?
Yep.
All right. You should be able to get there, no problem, be able to do some stuff on your next turn. When you get there, you do notice that there is a guy who has just jumped through a window. That was what the breaking glass sound was.
That's going to suck for him.
The drones are on here, so...
They're following orders at this point.
That's Party Girl is still following. Okay. Pillar, you're up.
I think I was going for the trailer, and I think I was there after my last movement, so I'm just going to try to go around to the door. What was a trailer, right, that they're keeping these people in?
So it's kind of like a makeshift building, if you can imagine 2 cargo containers, like on the back of a truck, and or even better on cargo containers that were on a train, right? And they have open tops, but they're both tilted sideways, so the open tops are facing each other, but they're slightly apart from each other as well, so you could walk between them. The open sides were being laid sideways, were makeshifted into like kennels on each side,
okay.
And you can walk between them, and it's covered, but there's also a makeshift door on either side, which is locked with a mechanical lock.
All right, that's a really good visual. All right, this is the one character I don't have a crowbar on. I am at the place where I don't know what to do. I'm a strong lass. I will attempt to break the lock, if I may.
You've got Vesper there with you too.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Vesper? I'll look at her. You got lockpicks?
She is actually reaching into, like, fumbling into her pocket currently, and she says, yeah, I got something for this. 1 second. But she doesn't have the action to do it yet, so you can wait if you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna essentially hold a single shot and hold action, kind of to just guard her back while she does whatever she needs to do. So, standing ready.
All right.
Did we all just go quiet there awkwardly?
Yes.
I'm making some NPC moves. 1 sec.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, I need to look up the rules for barriers. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Page 197.
Which barrier?
I'm just looking through the quick rules that I have written up about shooting through barriers.
I think it'd just be a penetrating weapon, so
yeah.
As long as it can do enough damage, it just takes 1 off the DV. Though in the case of my physical barrier, it obscures light like a light fog.
There are some rules about whether or not your barrier gets destroyed, though. That's true, right?
Yes. I think shooting through it would be like a penetrating barrier. It doesn't actually damage the barrier itself, but it just pokes holes in it. Whereas something like a melee attack would actually have to damage the barrier itself and destroy it. Unless they're actually attacking the barrier itself. If they're trying to shoot somebody on the other side of the barrier, then you typically just take 1 damage off. Well, depending on whether it's a single shot or a burst. Bursts get hit more with a damage penalty. I think if, even in that case, if 3 or more people shoot it at the barrier still going down, it's not that powerful.
Right, okay.
That said, if they're trying to deal with the fire barrier, that I don't think it actually physically impedes them. They just have to deal with potentially dying from flames for passing through.
All right, so through the window, some shots are fired in your direction, Elric.
All right. Am I taking any defense penalties?
It depends on... You never said you were really taking cover, so no.
Yeah, I'm not taking cover at this point.
So no penalties, but... Well, no. Yeah,
I mean,
no
is
penalties.
there any bursts coming at me or anything like that?
No, not yet.
I guess.
Not at this moment, no.
All right, how many tests am I making here?
Let's say you're going to get 3.
All right, first one. Nice, 7 hits.
All right, so the bullet penetrates the barrier, but you're not going to get hit. Make another one and -1 on this next one.
Second one, 2 hits.
All right, this one doesn't even make it through the barrier. Remind me, how many hits would I need to get through the barrier? It's armor.
It's only structured armor of it's structure of 3 and armor of 3.
Yeah,
so
that's right. So it's based on the damage value.
If the damage value is 6 or more, it's going through.
Yeah. And let's call for 1 more. Yeah, just for that last one.
4 hits on my 3rd test.
Ooh, so this one, again, all 3 of them make it through the barrier, and the barrier's probably toast by now, but they make it through. This last one, you still don't get hit by it, but it, who knows if Elric even notices, but it wings him right on tears his jacket.
Oh, I certainly noticed. I look over my jacket and scream a little louder. I'm hyper aware of everything right now, and also jacked up like crazy. On top of having the psyche, which also makes me more aware and think of things with more, slow, careful analysis or detachment.
Right. Those shots were fired from the windows of the other barracks, by the way. Leroy, you will notice as you're coming around the corner, you see the guy, that jumped out the window, but the back door to that barracks trailer flies open, and some dude comes out, kind of like sees you and gets halfway out the door and is frozen as he's trying to figure out which way to go. Stay in the building with the manifested spirit of fire, or jump outside with a guy with a heavy machine gun. But he's kind of halfway out the door. Next is Vesper is going to go, and she's going to attempt to pick that lock.
So, just as a quick interrupt here, the guy that shot at Elric didn't reveal himself, did he?
They're shooting through the windows in the front of the barracks, so they've got pretty heavy cover. But the drone Silverback would probably be able to see them.
Yeah, because basically it's only trying to acquire hostile targets, so it wouldn't really judge too well if it would just judge if it could basically target that guy.
Yeah, I think
despite
it could target.
The minuses,
it could target.
It's not very good on its own.
Yeah, it could target. Is it going to have Is it going to take an interrupt or something?
Well, I would imagine after they fired, I could use my hold action, or is that at the end of the round? I forget all the time.
You can use a held action at any point.
All right.
You just take a -1 die.
All right. It will return fire. Poorly, but it will.
All right. Like I said, it has heavy cover, which I think is... I'm going to pull on my GM screen. I think it's -4.
Usually it's 4 extra defense dice.
Oh, right. I think I'm channeling previous editions.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That gives me more time to look up the actual modifier.
What kind of burst is that?
That's it's only one way to go for it is the full auto 6 round.
Okay, so he'd be at -1 overall his defense then, counting his cover in the burst.
Silverback landed 3 hits.
Ooh, you said 3 hits?
Correct. Yep.
All right. Make a lot of noise.
Yeah, you're covering up the sounds of Elric's just uncontrolled screaming.
All right, Vesper is now starting to pick the lock. She looks like she's having kind of trouble with it too. All right. And from the other side of the door, Pillar can hear some really eerie, guttural growling and howling that is, from a metahuman, but it's very bestial and really unnerving, and rattling of cages and metal and stuff like that.
Awesome.
All right, what's your spirit's? Your spirit needs to roll defense test. That's all.
Okay. Let's see. Roll
Ranged defense.
Oh, nice. It's force 12, but I get 16 dice for that test.
With a -1 on this first one. It's going to be 3 times.
What's the force of your spirit?
Force 6, but spirits of fire get +3 to their reaction and +1 to their intuition.
Okay, I thought you said force 12. I just had a heart attack for a second.
Oh, sorry, I might have said force 12. I don't know why I said that. Force 6. Force 12 would be cool, but I'm not that crazy. 3 hits in the first one. 6 hits in the second. And
All right,
4
hold on
hits
just
on the
a sec.
third.
Okay. Were you taking the minuses into account for subsequent attacks?
Yes.
All right. How many were hits on the third one?
Third one was 4 hits.
All right. I got a net hit on that one. Not that it's going to matter with immunity to normal weapons.
He essentially has hardened armor of 12.
All right. So nothing happens. Except Leroy needs to take a defense test as he's being shot from someone who just appeared behind him.
2 hits.
All right. You're resisting 13 physical -1 AP.
You just shot me.
So from behind you in the barracks that's behind you, out that back door came a guy who crouched down, aimed, and fired at you.
What a dick. I took 3 stud out of that.
Well, good. Finally did you some damage.
Just picturing he's GMing and just on a screen little achievement.
Yeah, achievement unlocked.
Damaged Leroy. What will be the quirky name for that achievement? We'll leave that up to our listeners.
Elric, you're up again.
Okay, yeah, still screaming. Elric looks over at his jacket that's been torn and just kind of wild-eyed looks around and surveys the battlefield, and I go running to a point somewhere within 4 meters of me that has some solid cover from the people who are shooting at me, and I'll take a simple action to take cover if I can.
All right.
Or am I completely open?
So you can. You have the option to take cover behind the corner of the cabin there, which is very close to some
burning
blazing
cabin?
firewall. Yeah. Or you can take cover behind, taking cover in front of behind the pickup truck.
I'll definitely take cover by the truck then. And then I use my other simple action too, and I also yell my command as part of my constant screaming. I will command my spirit, join us in battle! Slay all of our enemies! Ah!
Just entered like a heavy metal concert.
Yeah, and he's totally bug-eyed and bloodshot and just looking strung out. I let loose the threads of the magic finger spell, and I'm just concentrating really hard on tightening my grip on the flaming maelstrom of threads that is the connection to the firewall spell that's encompassing the nearby building.
Payday.
And I'm just trying to ride this inferno.
All right, so I will issue 2 commands. The first one is to tell, essentially command Party Girl to return fire to anybody opening fire on either Vesper or Pillar, and I'll have Silverback lay down suppressing fire on the one cabin that was that had the guys that were shooting.
Nice. All right. It's going to take 20 bullets.
Yeah, it certainly will.
I just
am
released
keeping
an
track.
episode on suppressive fire. So, yeah, go ahead and make your
Yes.
weapon skill test.
I realized that I didn't hit the speak button.
Oh. So how many hits you get?
5 hits.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
And Eon is going to appear next to Elric. I don't fully understand the situation, Elric. This is very unlike you.
He just sort of turns and because he's got his trodes on, he can see her manifest. And so it turns and his shout becomes like a startle, ah! And it breaks off for a moment. He stops his screaming and just starts to cough for a moment.
For people to take a hit the dirt is an interrupt action, right? -5?
It's -5 or a free action.
Yeah, they've already gone this turn. They can just spend their free action.
Okay.
Unless they
That's
already
right.
did.
That's what I needed to know. All right. Well, the Silverback is suppressing the windows there. Good job, Silverback.
Good job, Silverback.
You can pat him nicely on the head. All right. The Spirit of Fire is going to receive Elric's command and attempt to lay waste to these foolish mortals trying to fire bullets at him inside that building.
Yeah, might as well start with the ones closest to it. I think we'll go with the elemental attack for its first goal.
That's ranged defense, correct?
Yep, and it scored 6 hits. Base damage 12E, stage up by net hits, AP -6, fire damage.
All right. There's a lot of dudes. Sorry. Throwback.
What's up?
Oh, it's your turn.
Oh, all right. I thought there was going to be a statement there.
You're dead.
I'm dead. Natural causes.
Damn.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and fill my team in. Let them know Decker located, and throw up an arrow for that northern bunker where the cyber deck currently is seated. And then I'm going to tell them 2 things. I'm going to say someone should really check on Elric. He's screaming something about Valhalla, and I'm going to get those cars or those trucks turned on and ready to go when you guys secure our friends. And then mostly I'll just spend the rest of this pass doing super exciting Decker things, like changing programs and arrays.
And bug fixing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bug fixing, trying to get my deck to do the things I want it to do.
Doing code reviews and stuff.
Yeah, I've got
Calibrations.
some pull requests I've got to handle really quick, guys.
There's a crazy fire going on over there in server number 3. We gotta take care of this real fast.
I actually really like that idea for a character.
Day job of someone who works in like IT support and they're on call all the time.
Yeah, you can still be on. You can be on pager duty and still be a Shadowrunner. It just takes up a couple of initiative passes every now and then.
All right, Leroy, you're up. You've got two goons. I'll roll with it here. You got 2 goons in front of you, and now 2 goons behind you. Both the ones behind you are taking a crouched aiming position. One of them has partial cover. One of them behind a door that's open, and one of them is kind of out in the open. Same issue is actually in front of you. To be honest, one of them is in partial cover, and one of them is on getting up off the ground after having jumped through the window.
So this is a kind of like a playtime is over situation because I don't really know how to use this thing, so I'm gonna drop it again. Which is like, oh, I hope I don't break this in the process. And then we'll just switch over to the AK. It's classic. It's reliable.
It's a simple action to ready it, right?
Yep. The 2 guys that came out of the building, are they armed or are they just kinda...
Yes, certainly.
All right, we'll start with the asshole that shot me then.
All right.
I got 4 hits on a simple full auto.
That's 6, so it's a -5 to me, right?
Correct.
Okay, and how many hits did you get?
4.
All right, base damage?
10 stun, -1, do 2 jumps.
Got it.
And that may knock him down, and then pop physical stuff. Jump.
You sounded really choppy to me.
Sorry, that may knock him down because of jump round stuff.
Yep, it does knock him down. All right. Next is... All right, go ahead and roll a defense test.
Me.
Indeed. Oh, you're gonna take a. I'm sorry. You're gonna take a -2 on that.
All right, 3.
So you're resisting 12 stun with AP -5 as you get hit by stick and shock.
You said 12.
Yes, 12.
No, go ahead and match that. I take 1.
Well, they're working on it.
Chop that tree, sons.
Party girl is, I guess, waiting.
Yes, that's correct.
Pillar, you're there. Vesper's, like I said, is there having trouble. Your brother just moved to the back of the truck and started screaming in a terrifying rage while Payday's drone just opened up a suppressive fire on the building that was firing back at them. So
Sure.
what is Pillar doing?
I did just stop screaming, by the way.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna do an observe in detail with the things inside the cage.
All right. So there is a door in front of you, and it's got a little kind of a
Okay.
hole, like there's a hole in it. It's not like intentionally a hole. It's like because it's a makeshift door, right?
Right.
But you could see through it if you wanted to try to see through it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to do, to try to figure out what the growling is exactly, even though I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I
Go
was
ahead.
bad at that. I got 1 hit.
But it's not difficult to see that it's the site is pretty horrific. On one side, on the left side inside this building, all the cages are open and empty. On the other side, all the cages are closed. There's several cages, but in it are shaking orcs inside their cages. It's barely recognizable as metahumans, but they're very scrawny. They have like they're dirty and bleeding. Well, maybe not actively bleeding, but they've got visible marks of being abused, and very enraged looking, shaking, trying to get out of their cages, and they're wearing tattered clothing that barely covers their bodies in most cases.
It's all I've got for action, so I'm just gonna hang out with Vesper and kind of look back at her, just try to gauge her face to see how determined she is, and then otherwise maintain my watch on the scene in case we're being stuck up on.
Yeah, she's looking pretty intent at getting this lock open, trying to, she's frantically trying to do it. You know that she's been here before, and maybe that has a lot to do with why she's struggling. maybe she's nervous or anxious or something, but she sees you look through, and the look on your face, and kind of like gives you a knowing look, like she knows what you saw.
I'll just give her kind of a reassuring nod, stone face, go back to just watching our backs.
Mm-hmm. All right. Elric, you'll see, as well as Silverback, I guess. Well, you can see the feed through your drones, correct, Payday?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so Payday and Elric will both notice that the building whose windows are being suppressed, around the back side of that, which is not, really within the range of the suppressive fire zone, not around the backside, but the side, somebody runs out and runs across the open area to get behind that building next to the cabin, the kitchen. So they just ran across, basically.
So they're getting to the building that Pillar and Vesper are
No,
at, or?
So it's a little difficult to so if you want to imagine in your head, there are 5 buildings of concern, and think of them as on the face of a clock. Okay, the southernmost barracks that is being suppressed right now would sort of be at like the 7 o'clock position.
Okay.
Sort of a 9 o'clock position would be the northernmost barracks, which is got a spirit inside of, and Leroy's dealing with some people that have jumped out the back, and the door's on fire. A lot of the action going on in that one. As you move around the clock face, the northernmost building is the kennels, at the 12 o'clock position, sort of. That's where Pillar and Vesper are. At kind of like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock down there is where the pickup trucks are.
Yep.
The cabin that is being set on fire by the fire dome is at 3 o'clock, and the building just south of that, which would be kind of like at 4, 5 o'clock, is the kitchen building that this guy just ran behind.
All right, I see.
So out of view of you guys, but he went that way.
Gotcha.
Was he carrying anything big and obvious?
Yeah, he had an assault rifle.
Okay, good to know.
It's one of the bonuses of being on Overwatch right now.
Yeah. Someone else comes out the back door of the building that Leroy just shot someone at. Actually, several people come out of there and then move to take cover. Then Leroy will make another defense test -1. Actually, -2, because it's a semi-auto burst.
5 hits, apparently.
All right, he misses. All right, Vesper manages to start messing with the lock a little bit more, gets her auto picker in there and fiddling around with it, and gets the lock open. All right, Leroy, make another defense test with a -3 now.
0.
All right, you're taking 10 physical with AP -1. Or maybe you're not taking it, but you're soaking it.
I'm good.
Tanks.
It's not even that bad.
Bang, 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 bang.
You're welcome.
All right, Elric, you've got another pass, and so will Payday and the Spirit.
Okay, yeah, so Eon appeared in front of him, and he kind of coughed and broke out with a scream for a moment, just takes a deep breath and goes, "Oh my god, Ian, it's so good to see you. I took Nitro, and we're in the fan direct Leroy watched the sneak, and it's so friggin' intense. Now we have to kill all these people or die, and I'm going into cardiac arrest, so I want you to know I think you're a real person. I hope you know that someday." And over the course of him just spurting out these words, he reaches up and lets loose with a flamethrower spell at one of the guys who's just presenting himself as a target. Maybe someone is going after Leroy.
Well, those people are on the backside. You can't see them, but there is one person who positioned himself again at the edge of one of the buildings to begin to start to take fire. So there is a target you could.
Okay, I'm gonna blast him with a 4/6 flamethrower spell.
Yeah, this guy's pretty far away. Does range matter? It's with a
line of sight.
Okay.
And during all that, Eon looked at first confused rapidly, then angry, and then like an "aw, that's sweet" kind of look.
Let's see, that would be 4 hits in my spell casting. Yeah, no problem with drain. And I just, as I'm saying this, maybe as the time, and I say, I have to kill these people or die, that point I fire out the flame spell out of the wand. Yeah, I'm on Psyche at the moment, which, according to the rule book, let's see, makes me hyper-aware, detached, easily absorbed by detail, and obsessive about certain facts or problems. And then the Nitro makes me feel infused with energy, suffer diminished attention span, and talk incessantly. So I figured the screaming was the first manifestation of that.
How many hits did you get again?
4 hits.
All right.
Now we're on to tripping balls.
Well, it was a fireball, right?
A flamethrower.
Flamethrower. Well, the flamethrower shoots out and misses. In his rage of talking and shooting, and you get pretty close, but not quite on the mark.
Okay.
Payday's up.
All right. I will let Silverback continue upon his suppressive fire. I am going to command a fly spy to try to get sight on the assault rifle guy so that we can keep track of him, the kitchen guy.
Right. Okay. So are you launching the fly spy, or is the fly spy taking perception to find him?
Remember, there was already 2 of them up. I'll have to do perception.
That's right.
But there's one keeping an eye on the kennels, and then there was one just kind of doing its rounds.
Okay, then just give me a perception.
Will do. 3 hits.
All right, no problem. He's definitely made it behind that building, but hasn't gotten much further than that. But I will keep you aware of his movements.
And as a free action, I just say, keep an eye on the cameras. And Pillar, party girl, is equipped with with flashbangs. If you need them, give me the word.
All right. Spirit of Fire is just going to take the next target.
Yeah, 7 hits to blast somebody, unless it doesn't have any targets, in which case it's going to go find some.
All right. All right, it's initiative time. So while you guys are rolling initiative, everything's been pretty exciting. Leroy's moved to the back of the building as all of the people inside. They, in both of the buildings, one of them they can't make it out the front because it's on fire from a Molotov cocktail that Leroy threw. The other one's being suppressed by a drone, so they can't make it out the front. So everybody's got to kind of make their way out the back, where Leroy is, taking shots and picking people off as he can. Spirit's inside, taking care of any stragglers, while Elric is shooting fire and roiding out on the other side of the open compound area behind a truck. All right, it looks like Elric is going first on 25.
Okay, so Elric continues muttering, saying, I've got to keep their attention focused in my direction. Come on, Pill, you've got this. Got to get the trucks moving. Whoa, this is nuts. He's just trying to keep things together enough. And I guess, do I see any targets that I can shoot at or blast or do something to?
Yeah, that same guy that you shot a flamethrower at is still visible. He's pretty much the only one visible right now because nobody's really able to make it into the front of these buildings into the open area.
Yeah, I best stay down at my cover here. So I'm just going to go ahead and fling another flamethrower spell at this guy. Force 6 again. Actually, you know what? It's force -5 for the drain code. I might as well do an 8.
More fire.
Yeah, I'm using my wand. That's my fetish. And that's 3 hits. Not so terribly fantastic, but no drain.
All right, so it wings him, but you can see that his arm, the sleeve of his jacket is on fire now.
Yeah, that might keep him a little busy then.
Now, Payday, what's your edge?
Payday's edge is 3.
All right. Well, this guy's going to go first, and he's going to fire at Leroy, the one who jumped out the window. He's going to fire. Yeah, he's going to fire again. Give me another defense test -2. He's doing a aimed burst.
3.
Okay. You're again resisting 12 stun, AP -5.
Leroy's in a blind spot for me. I can't really see what's going on over there yet.
I take an additional 1, and I lose 5 off my initiative.
That's right, you do.
Did that guy that I shot and fell over, did he get back up?
He hasn't yet, no.
Good.
All right, you, Payday, you can see from your fly spy that the guy who ran around to the kitchen, he's making his way around that building, kind of to go all the way around the cabin. Looks like he might be trying to flank somebody.
Really now? He's still on the outside of the cabin?
Yeah, he's kind of just gone to the other side of the cabin. He's almost far enough to where he would be in line of sight of Elric behind that truck. Because he's coming around the back side of that cabin.
Gotcha.
Leroy, you're going to take another shot, this time from an aimed shot. Just a -1 from being attacked again.
Only 1?
All right, that is going to be 11 physical, AP -1.
I take 1 more.
Whittling away.
You're going to make me break out a stim patch.
Good. Payday, did I already say you could go? No, it's your turn.
All right. The building that Silverback was reducing to Swiss cheese. Has there been any other returning fire or anything like that from it?
No, there has not.
I'm going to take the opportunity then to jump back into Silverback, and I warn Elric to pay attention to camera 4.
Camera 4.
All right. Adjust your initiative accordingly.
Oh, it doesn't take any more initiative to jump in at this point, right?
Okay.
No, it's just a simple action if you're already in hot sim.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well,
I can't currently see this guy yet from Silverback's vantage, right? The guy sneaking up on Elric.
No, you don't. You could move to the other side of the cabin to do that. You've got a simple action left.
I don't want to give it up yet, so I'm going to hold on him and wait till he decides to poke his way around, thinking he's all sneaky. Light him up as soon as I see him.
All right, the Spirit of Fire is gonna attack. I suppose that there's another person in there. There's one left.
Yeah, if they're still in the building, you'll keep blasting away at those targets. Gets 4 hits this time.
And needless to say, suppressing fire's over now.
Yeah, thanks. All right, Throwback, it's your turn.
I am going to hack on the fly. That's right. I'm going to hack on the fly the trucks. Do the trucks have the trucks themselves have a matrix presence, I assume, or are they offline?
They are not on.
They're not on the matrix, or they're not turned on.
They're not on the. There are no icons for the trucks.
Okay. Bummer. Refresh my memory. There wasn't like a host or anything for this compound, was there?
No, there wasn't. All the
Okay.
devices were slaved to that cyberdeck.
Okay. Then I guess I want to. I'll take a look to see if I can start finding enemy guns. So I'll give you a matrix perception.
Ton of them around Leroy.
Yeah. None of them are silent, so I'm gonna forego the perception and say that there are plenty of firearm icons. Yes.
Okay. Do you want that to be my turn, or can I start swinging away?
Go ahead, because you've been doing stuff in the Matrix there. I would just say that you've seen them. You know, you're aware of them already.
All right. Yeah. Then let's start data spiking. I still have Fork loaded up, so I'll target two of the guns, and then data spike.
All right. Any in particular? So there are 2 people with submachine guns. One of them, they're pretty far apart. They're on opposite sides of the compound. One of them is near Leroy. One of them's on the other side. And there's a bunch of heavy pistols.
Does Leroy have a biomonitor?
That's a question. I don't happen to see one on my character sheet.
Okay.
I would say the answer is no then.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just target the 2 biggest guns. So I'll target both of the SMGs.
Okay.
And that's a fork, so they each get a defense against my 4 hits. Base damage on that is 8 matrix damage plus net hits.
All right. How much did you get on each?
4 hits.
All right. The first one, you got 2 net. What was the? How's the damage work on that again? Remind me.
The base damage will be 8, based on my attack rating plus the fact that I have the hammer program loaded.
Oh wow. Okay. And then that stages up with net hits, right?
Yeah. Net hits like normal.
And this is I'm fairly weak on matrix stuff. They get is that now that I've rolled the matrix defense, do they now have a normal like soak roll, or is that it?
Yep. They get their device rating plus the firewall to resist the damage, just like a normal soak roll.
They probably have 9 boxes of matrix condition.
Yeah, which would put their device rating at most likely 2 for most standard guns.
I guess there'd be a reason to do a weapon comlink. You could essentially go with like a rating 6 comlink just for the gun. You could argue that the weapon itself is like a rating 6 device and has more matrix boxes.
Yeah, there's all sorts of fun little things you can do like that.
All right. Well, you toasted that one and that one. Deckers.
And then I forget if I said this at the beginning of my turn, but I'm gonna relay that information. I'll say the trucks are throwbacks. You guys are gonna have to find the keys.
When it's time to go, I'll deal with it myself.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. This show would not be possible without the generous support of our patrons over at Patreon. If you like the show and you want to help support it, then head on over to patreon.com/complexaction. Supporting the show can get you access to GM notes that I drop on a monthly basis, and also access to some of the patron-only channels for chatting with me on the new Shadowcasters Network Discord server. So head on over to patreon.com/complexaction for the details, and thanks for supporting the show. The character art you've seen on our YouTube page and various other social media places was done by Ethan Brewerton. Check out his awesome Shadowrun artwork over at esbrewerton.tumblr.com. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.